this episode, kindly listen to what we think the woman will require when she's lactating. Because whatever the child will be is so much dependent on the child's nutritional status. And nutritional status for a child starts early in life. Whatever you think your immune system can do is a function of actually the ingredients that build up the immunoglobulins, which basically are proteins. So, as we talk, maybe we can take questions from you. But until then, this is us. Thank you very much. Welcome. Other conditions that we are interested in, breastfeeding. Breastfeeding means that milk is being produced. This milk production requires chemicals that will enable the milk to be produced inside the woman. And then the production of milk, the process of transporting the milk, and the process of expressing the milk or giving the child or sucking that will bring out the milk all requires energy. But they also require protein to at least produce the milk. You know, milk contains protein. So that content needs to be there. And we have said before that protein is part of what? The storage proteins, the storage function. So the caseins in the breast milk need to be given to the baby. It means the baby is also taking protein from the mother. So in the first 6 months, you know that for 6 months we do exclusive breastfeeding. So the baby's requirement, the mother's requirement for protein to meet up the baby's need will be about 17.5 grams per day. So you need to put that additionally. As the baby increases, the quantity of milk consumed increases, and the quantity of protein that the mother should be taking increases. Such that at 6 months, the quantity that should be taken should be up to 20 grams per day additionally for a lactating mother. Because in the first month of lactation, the baby takes as much as 700 grams. And then in the third and 6th months, it takes about 750 to 850 grams. So if this is what the baby consumes as milk, it only means that the woman needs to produce more milk, and she will need to transmit the protein in the milk to the baby. That is why that quantity is required. And this is why for protein, because we'll come to energy requirements, because the woman is doing work, so she needs energy. Energy, we look at it from the point of carbohydrate and from the point of fat. But today we are talking about protein requirement for a lactating mother, protein requirement for pregnancy, protein requirement for elderly, protein requirement for adults. So if we now come to another condition that requires higher protein intake, infection state. You see, in infection, there's a battle. The microorganisms is competing with your body in the protein. And then in some type of infection, for instance in pulmonary tuberculosis, when they cough out the sputum, they also excrete proteins in that plasma. And so in such situations, in infectious situations, there's always an increase. Now, normal increase is about 25% rise of whatever is required for adult, 25% rise for whatever is required for the child, and 25% rise for whatever is required for the pregnant woman or the lactating mother. So if any of these stages in life there is an infection, that 25% must be included. Now, in HIV/AIDS, the effect of the HIV virus is very, 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 challenging. And there are also what we call opportunistic infections that are also competing for the available macronutrients and micronutrients. So these people will require as high as 50% higher than what the normal adult will take. Well, in acute cases, the protein may be lower, acute infections, except however, in things like dysentery or typhoid or diarrhea, where the increase may be required. So, taking through these stages, you have seen that protein depends on your weight, protein depends on your sex, protein depends on your health status, protein depends on your physiological state. All of these determine the quantity of protein. We've talked about the types of protein. We've talked about when it is complete, when it is incomplete, when it is complementary. We've talked about all those, and we've told you about the essential and non-essential amino acids, which must determine the completeness of a protein. Now, the sources that are complete, and we may have to repeat this, the soya proteins are very, very good because they contain all the essential amino acids. And of course, the dairy products, when I mean the dairy products, I mean the milk, fermented milk. I also mean things like egg, and then of course fish, and maybe chicken. We will come to the types of chicken, the skinless ones, that is the lean meat and all that. We'll talk about that later. But for now, we are giving you an idea. But if you don't have this, and what you have are grains and legumes, we have also said that you need to combine them to be able to have complementary protein that will give you enough. But this quantity is very important that we also factor in. Now there are a special group of people that are athletic, people that are having extraneous work. Now the athletic people also require high protein, because if you don't have it, then they cannot keep up with their protein need. So athletes require high protein. People that are doing taxing jobs that require so much effort also require high protein. Apart from their requirements for calorie comes from fats and carbohydrates, because they are the first line of food substances that the body must take to be able to give it enough energy. But if it's not there, the body refers to the skeletal muscles. We'll come to carbohydrate, we'll come to the fats and oil, and we'll take you through that. But for now, for protein, this is what we have. So I think this episode clearly tells you what you need to do and how you need to do it. There are people that may need specialized diets. There are people that are in certain conditions that will need us to do some combination for them. In Nutri-Med clinic, an online platform, we can offer you that online consultations. Our aim is to make sure that you're healthy for your loved ones. And when we are healthy, productivity increases and everyone is happy. Keep us in the field for another day.